And we are live. Thank you and welcome to my podcast. I'm D.R.L. and this is plant medicine, Africa to be more specific. Africa is the motherland to all of us. Has many plants, medicines, minerals, everything that pretty much we sustain to live to this day. Anywhere from diamonds, gold, even the metal we use for our cell phones today. Fantastic planet, continent. But, it's the mother of all of us. And today we're going to be talking about the different herbs and plants that we can use today to help sustain and bring back a good balance to our lives. It is said to help to like liver disease, erectile dysfunction, diabetes, addicts, who's combating like alcohol addiction, substance abuse. There's many different things that go on. And I'm going to describe it right here and now. Now, to kick us off, we're going to be talking about Rooibos. I might be butchering the name, but it's spelled Roobos. That's the name of it. It is grown in a small mountainous region of South Africa town called Cedarburg. It is used as a tea and is compared to like black and green tea. It's caffeine free and it contains various minerals, polyphenols, ASP, PPAG, and asarantin. Yeah, a lot of difficult words I'm saying here, but hey, we gonna try it on out. We right here. We gonna get it together. First things first, some of the health benefits that is said to brought. It helps against cardiac pathologies, skin disorders, obesity, and diabetes. Now, this plant has a special interest for me because I myself am a type 1 diabetic. And as soon as I spread this information, it got me interested and actually wanted to try it out. So let's go further into details about this. Well, first things first, let me tell you, there are over 425 million people living with diabetes stated in 2017. And this number is said to rise to 629 million by 2045. So if you are diabetic, especially type 2, because it's said to work best with type 2, you might want to listen in. So here we go. All right. First things first, I do want to say that after there was many experiments conducted over this herb. And after several experiments conducted, concluding results found that patients treated with PPAG, mineral found in Rooibos, demonstrated lower blood glucose levels for the patients. Now, they conducted 12 studies with rodents that had type 1 diabetes. And out of those 12 studies, 4 of them were confirmed that they actually lowered the blood glucose levels in these rodents. So I'm like, that's a huge positive for me. And I'm like, I definitely got to try this on now. But be that as it may, I'm going to push forward. It's also said that the proper name for this herb is called Aspergillus lanaris. That's a tongue twister right there. But hey, I tried it on out. I messed it up, but hey, it is what it is. In other cases, though, they found that it reverses it reverses the effects of damaged liver in humans that use Rooibos tea. So, something to look forward to. But anyway, we're off to the next subject. If you're interested to try it on out, it's up there in South Africa, Small mountainous region of South Africa called Cedarburg. That's where general population of this herb can be found. But off to the next. Now this one right here is one of my favorite plants that I've researched. So up here, it's found in the regions of Egypt, but it's also said to be found in Mexico, India, Persia, and China. Pretty much the whole region of Asia, to tell you the truth. And this plant is called the blue lotus flower, or in other names, it's called Nymphaea coale. That's a tongue twister right there, but it's a name. It can be found, actually, other names for it is also called the sacred lily of the Nile. What's interesting about this plant is it was used back in ancient times. Back in ancient Egypt is where they mostly praised it. And it's said that one of the gods, Ra, came to the people on a blue lotus flower. That is why it's given the name of creation of life, rebirth, and many other factors. You can see this water lily. It's a plant, but it's really belongs to the water lily family. You can see it in statues, carvings, and many books throughout history, throughout many planes of the world, many countries and everything. In China as well, they connect it to women as being feminine. It's the feminine way of life. It is because it's the way of creation. Now, another interesting fact about this plant right here is back in Egypt, it is said to have been give people hallucinogenic properties. It's a psychoactive drug, but it's also a stimulant as well. So its effects can be narcotic and hallucinogen. It's a mild sedative that induces tingling feelings of euphoria, comparable to a less intense MDMA, with effects lasting for up to 3 hours. Now, usually what people would do is they would take the plant and the root. They would usually boil it with like either wine or water, make a tea or drink about it, and drink it. Another thing about this plant is today, research is being conducted over it on treating erectile dysfunctions. So I'm like, So I conducted a little bit more research and found that many people have said that the blue lotus was used back in ancient Egyptian times as either a party drug or a sex aid in Egypt. So I'm like, I see why. Kept you long and strong for quite some time. So hey, you're gonna find that on out. Other things to know about this is it is said that this psychoactive plant was used to connect man to the divine or deities, gods, in other words. Is used among the elite priesthood to heighten the psychic capabilities to communicate with the gods, like the sun god Ra. This blooming pattern of the blue lotus represented creation and rebirth, but only if death was united with it. So, someone has to pass for rebirth to happen. But the blue lotus grows along lakes and rivers and blooms in the springtime. It's a psychoactive amorphin from Nymphaea, aka an hallucinogen described in both the New World and Old World texts. The use of the blue lotus is used in rituals as described in the Ani, the Book of the Dead. It's very interesting right there. Today, the blue lotus flower uses the dopamine promoter, amorphin, and aporphin used to treat erectile dysfunctions. So it is really good. So today, The Naphea is a threatened species and is starting to be classified as an endangered plant. So I don't know. Some of you limpsters should go ahead and search on over to Egypt and start chewing on that plant. Might help you out in the end. But hey, that's on you. That's on you. Also, I neglected to mention this, but the technical name for it, or the original name for it, is called the Naphea corale. Probably butchered that name, but I do the best I can, and we're gonna see how that goes. Anyway, like I said, this plant, it really served across the world. It was like on like buildings. You can go to like what do you call it, pyramids and tombs of ancient Egyptian rulers. And you see that the blue lily was carved all around the pyramids and their tombstones. It was based right up in there and in many texts and books. So this plant had much meaning, great meaning to these people's lives back in these days. And it's still used to this day. A lot of people, especially in China and Asia, in Asia, India, Persia, they still use it to this day to represent creation of life, rebirth, death, all these things. But has many different positive properties, like I said, psychoactive, treats erectile dysfunction. Overall, it's a great stimulant. So really good plant to say. Next plant we're going to be talking about. Oh man, now this one right here is one of the good ones right here. It's called Ibogaine. Ibogaine. And I have many descriptions about this plant. This was the one I found the greatest use for. For many people. This one has a lot of research conducted treating substance abuse patients and alcoholics. It helps treat and fight and stop their addiction patterns. The only problem is it's illegal here in America. So I'm like, seeing as everything that's good for people is illegal, but everything that's bad for people, they promote. I don't know. Maybe it's just coincidence. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, the technical name for this plant is called the Tabernacle Ibogaine. It comes from West African regions of Gabon. Used at a low dose, it is a stimulant, and at high doses during a ceremony for admission into the Gabonese Initiation Society, called aka the Bowiti. I believe that's how you say the name, the Bowiti. But studies have been conducted on Ibogaine in France all the way back in 1864 up to 1905. And then today, studies started to be conducted in the United States since the 1960s to today. Ibogaine is a psychedelic root that has been researched in combating drug dependency. Now, from the information I've gathered about this, what they would do is it comes from a root from a tree. And what they do is they shave the first part, and then they got to shave the second part. Then they would chop it up, and then they would have people during the rituals chew on it, like gum or something like that. And they would have them chew on it consistently throughout the whole ritual. And then you would then go into you'll start to develop visions. It's 4 stages. It is said to be 4 stages of visions that consists of. During the first stage, it consists of a hazy, incoherent, disordered images with religious significance, meaning guessing you're starting to feel the touch of the deities or God himself. Who knows? The second vision stage is characterized by a series of hallucinogens of animals that break apart, then form back together rapidly. So this may be the animal deity that's connected with you. It's like some people might say that each of us has an animal spirit that grows inside of us. This might be your animal spirit reaching out to you to speak with you and guide you. During the next vision cycle, it's called the third, the honoric vision. It's more calm, peaceful vision that gives the user a better understanding of the images earlier. That means like your animal spirit, and also the religious speakings that you have heard. It is also said that during that first stage, maybe your ancestors might come and speak with you and guide you. Kind of like in the Black Panther movie, like when they would go into that, when they would drink the plant and go and see their ancestors and whatnot, and they would speak with them and help guide them, tell them where to go to find other plant medicines and other plants to help out their village or to help them. It's a guideway. It's like a bridge to the afterlife or to our third eye. Who knows? But the final stage is called the normative visions. These are the visions where the user encounters spiritual entities. So once again, you go through several stages of seeing God or your ancestors that go to talk to you. But hey, you know, these are very, very, very strong. I'm actually interested to try this myself. Also, the people who conduct these rituals up in Africa and the West African region of Gabon, it is mostly the men who go through these rituals. But here's the thing. If the man does not complete the transition, they will, until they complete it, they will always be labeled little boy, meaning he won't be a man, meaning he won't have any respect. He will not be able to obtain a wife because the women, they're not going to be with you, the little boy. Why would they want to be with a little boy? Then you won't have any respect from the other men. They're going to treat you as if you're a little boy. You can't do nothing. Disrespect. So puts upon more burdens for you to do this because it's just one of those rites of passage to become an adult, be a man. But pushing forward, it is said that these visions have similarities to near death and birth. It brings about two connections. These experiences happen during the Bwiti. This is the religious ceremony, the spiritual ceremony that the Gabon people use and that they go through in order to conduct into manhood. Overall, the Ibogaine is a psychedelic root that has been researched in combating drug dependencies. The process of enlightenment slash spiritual journey, or getting high, just to be quite frank with you, starts with chewing slowly and consistently for over a couple of hours. Tell you the truth, you got to continue to keep chewing this thing to reach the final stage, the fourth stage. During the fourth stage, an individual enters the stage of vision, sees visions of spiritual entities, and masters of the universe. It's most interesting to me. But hey, a uh, psychiatrist named Howard S. Loftus found that the method when addicts goes beyond the fourth stage of visions, it can bring about the cure of being an addict. Now there are lists and lists and lists of various different research that has been conducted over this plant. And I find it very fascinating that they haven't found a connection because they've been doing research on this since the 1960s here in America. So I'm like, I know you guys have found something for this, but it's all good for us. However, when we speak upon this, all these different drugs, I mean, not drugs, all these different plants and herbs. There's over 300 different plants in Africa alone that is said to help people combat liver disease, skin disease, muscle tension, pregnancy, addiction, who knows, diabetes, all kinds of things. And for us as Black people, I advise everyone to go back to the motherland just to feel that power of enlightenment. Who knows? You might come back a better person. I advise everyone to travel to get up out of their comfort zone, but especially to Africa. That is the motherland to us all. I don't care what anyone says, that's the motherland to us all. And going back, just like Richard Pryor, how he said he went back and he saw his brothers and sisters as Black people, he felt enriched. Dave Chappelle did it too. It's like, it's a place to give you enlightenment. It's like reaching your top journey as becoming a new human. And with all these medicines, I just keep seeing results after results after results of everything great comes from Africa. Black people, we all come from Africa. Most definitely we do. But hey, that's just my thoughts on the matter. But so that's everything that I have to say. The Tabernathi Ibogaine, the Aspalathus laniaris, that's the Rooibos right there. And then the blue lotus flower. These are all the things that I speak upon. And all the descriptions are right in the description box. Have a list of link trees where you can go to and go over the research that I found. I advise you to go ahead and do your own because it's quite interesting. It's fascinating. People might be like, I don't like doing homework. Well, get your lazy ass up and go do something. Never hurts to learn about something, especially something that connects us all. My personal belief is with doing some of these things like Ibogaine or the blue lotus flower, it opens up your third eye. Just like how ayahuasca or shrooms or peyote, these are things that I believe and I've experienced myself have opened my mind, my wisdom to thinking outside this little small box that I grew up in. It challenged me. It's like, especially when I did mushrooms, psilocybin, it was like myself rose up out of myself and had a conversation with me and challenged myself to create and make happen what I actually wanted in life. Instead of doing what was expected of me, I did what I wanted to. And after I did it for the first time, I saved up $5,000 and went on a month journey to Amsterdam. This is just from doing mushrooms. I also want to try ayahuasca, which also has a very strong connection. I've seen research where it's like it has connections towards controlling diabetes as well. Where they also say it can also it can level out your blood glucose levels, and if you're on medicine, it can make it go even lower. So that's where the danger sets in. So I would have to test drive that journey out myself, but ayahuasca is something that I'm going to try for myself. It is it's out there in Peru. I want to go with the shaman, and I want to do it like how many people have been doing it for centuries time. I want to do it the right way. I also want to see Machu Picchu. Can't lie about that. But that's here and now. And yeah, we're all here discovering all this great information. Most of these drugs that I've talked to you about were psychedelics, because psychedelics, I just believe, helps enhance us all. You may not believe in doing drugs. If you don't do it. However, you wishing to try this out, give it a swirl. You never know, especially if you go to the motherland. Just connect with some people that you trust, because you don't want to do this around some random strangers. Things could happen. Well, who knows? Well, this is D.R.L. Freeman. Hope you learned quite a great bit, and I'm gonna talk to you later. Have a good evening.